When HYBE, formerly Big Hit Entertainment, went public on the Korean Stock Exchange in 2020, BTS members each received shares worth millions of dollars. Jungkook, like the other members, instantly saw his financial standing leap beyond the scope of a typical pop star. His equity in HYBE alone is a strong foundation for his net worth. Unlike many American artists who rely heavily on touring and music sales, Jungkook benefits from diversified streams that include corporate-level stock ownership, making him less vulnerable to fluctuations in the music market. Jungkook's solo releases have shattered streaming records worldwide. His single 7 featuring Latto became a global hit, topping charts in multiple countries and breaking records on Spotify for fastest streams. Unlike many American artists who require extensive promotional campaigns, Jungkook's music thrives almost entirely on organic demand from fans across the world. Each release does not just represent music sales. It is tied to digital revenue, brand exposure, and secondary effects like merchandise and concert anticipation. The numbers suggest that his solo ventures alone are worth tens of millions in revenue. This is a critical difference. While American artists are highly successful, Jungkook's ability to dominate both Korean and Western markets simultaneously is almost unprecedented. If there is one area where Jungkook's wealth shines most visibly, it is brand endorsements. When Calvin Klein announced Jungkook as its global ambassador, the results were staggering. Sales skyrocketed, digital engagement exploded, and Jungkook became the face that redefined modern fashion marketing. Analysts noted that Jungkook's campaigns generated tens of millions in media impact value numbers that rival, and in some cases surpass, campaigns involving American celebrities. The key difference lies in his organic influence. Fans do not simply view him as a model for the brand. They view him as someone who transforms the brand itself. This translates into far higher conversion rates compared to traditional celebrity endorsements. Beyond Calvin Klein, Jungkook has been linked to multiple luxury and mainstream brands. Each collaboration solidifies his financial status, giving him contracts that in sheer value often outpace deals given to American stars of similar age and status. In today's music industry, streaming royalties have become the new standard of financial measurement. Jungkook's Spotify numbers alone put him in direct competition with American heavyweights. 7 and other tracks not only performed strongly in Korea, but also topped global charts, proving his reach beyond language and cultural barriers. Unlike some American artists who rely heavily on one market, often the US Jungkook's income is globally distributed. Fans in Asia, North America, Europe, Latin America, and even the Middle East contribute to his streaming power. This diversification makes his earnings more stable and, in many ways, more future-proof than artists dependent on one geographical region. No discussion of Jungkook's wealth would be complete without mentioning the massive army-driven merchandise economy. From albums, photocards, and DVDs to fan meetings and exclusive collectibles, Jungkook's presence drives purchasing behavior like no other. For comparison, American artists like Justin Bieber or Ariana Grande sell merchandise and albums, but the level of consumer dedication that BTS inspires is on a completely different scale. Jungkook, being one of the most popular members, often has his related products sell out within minutes. This demand is not only consistent, but also intensifies with every appearance, comeback, or endorsement. Wealth is not just about current numbers, it's about sustainability and future growth. With HYBE's constant expansion, BTS's continuing influence, and Jungkook's solo career only just beginning, his financial trajectory is upward. Moreover, Jungkook's relatively young age compared to American counterparts means he has decades ahead to expand his brand, invest in businesses, and continue building wealth. American stars like Beyoncé and Taylor Swift achieved their peak earnings later in their careers, but Jungkook is already competing with them in his mid-20s. So what is the actual figure? Estimates put Jungkook's net worth between $50 million to $80 million, with projections showing rapid growth due to ongoing contracts, solo success, and investments. While this number might seem lower compared to megastars like Taylor Swift, whose net worth exceeds $1 billion, the context is critical. Jungkook achieved this wealth in a fraction of the time, with less solo material, and while still balancing group activities. When compared to younger American stars like Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, or even Justin Bieber at the same age, Jungkook's numbers are staggering. His endorsement deals, stock ownership, and global fan-driven revenue streams push him far ahead. In fact, some analysts argue that if his trajectory continues, Jungkook may reach billionaire status faster than most American stars, thanks to his dual success in both music and fashion. Beyond the numbers, Jungkook's wealth symbolizes something bigger, a cultural shift. For decades, American stars dominated global charts and wealth rankings. Now, a Korean artist is not only competing, but surpassing them in certain financial areas. For fans, this represents validation. For the industry, it signals a change in how music, culture, and wealth are distributed in the digital age. Jungkook's journey is not just about personal success. It is about rewriting the global entertainment hierarchy. His wealth is not only personal income, it is a marker of BTS's impact, the power of ARMY, and the future of music itself. Justin Bieber is often seen as Jungkook's Western equivalent. Both rose to fame at a young age, both are adored globally, and both became cultural icons in their 20s. Bieber's net worth is estimated at over $300 million, but it took him more than a decade of solo careers, world tours, and major business ventures to achieve that level. Jungkook, in comparison, has reached a reported $80 million net worth in less than half that time, with fewer solo releases. His growth curve is sharper. More importantly, Jungkook's fan-driven spending behavior generates revenue streams that are harder to quantify but potentially more lucrative in the long run. For example, while Bieber's Calvin Klein campaign was successful, Jungkook's version for the same brand broke digital records in sales conversion and global social media impact. This comparison shows why analysts believe Jungkook's long-term trajectory may surpass Bieber's, even if his net worth currently appears lower. He has already reached a level of wealth in his 20s that Bieber only achieved after years of being an international headliner. Younger American artists like Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo also provide context. Billie's net worth is estimated at around $50 million, Olivia's at roughly $20 million. Both have achieved remarkable success, but their influence remains largely centered on Western markets. Jungkook, by contrast, commands both East and West. His ability to dominate Spotify charts, sell out global merchandise, and lead brand campaigns in Asia and North America simultaneously makes him a unique financial figure. Unlike Billie or Olivia, Jungkook benefits from the collective strength of BTS, while also carving out a solo empire. This dual presence means that while his net worth looks similar to Billie's today, the global infrastructure around him is much stronger. His connection to HYBE, his role in BTS, and his positioning as a fashion icon give him avenues of income that his American peers do not currently possess. To understand Jungkook's wealth, we also need to examine the higher end of American stardom, Beyoncé and Taylor Swift. Taylor, in particular, has crossed the billion-dollar threshold, largely due to her ownership of her music catalog, massive tours, and strategic business deals. At first glance, Jungkook's $50, 80 million, seems small compared to Taylor's billion-dollar empire. However, the crucial point is timing. Taylor is in her mid-30s with nearly 2 decades of career momentum behind her. Jungkook is in his mid-20s, still at the early stage of his solo career. If his current trajectory continues, especially with HYBE's backing, BTS's eventual return from military service, and his solo brand power, analysts predict that Jungkook could accelerate toward the billionaire range in less time than it took Taylor or Beyoncé. His wealth is not only a reflection of music. It is tied to the cultural and economic shift toward Asia as a central hub of global entertainment. American stars have long dominated brand endorsements. Think Rihanna with Fenty Beauty, Beyoncé with Pepsi, or Justin Bieber with Calvin Klein. Yet Jungkook's Calvin Klein deal proved something remarkable. The conversion rate of Jungkook's fans is unmatched. When Jungkook posted his first Calvin Klein campaign, social media numbers spiked to historic levels. Products sold out globally within hours. Analysts estimated that his campaign generated more than $20 million in media value in just days. For perspective, American celebrity endorsements often require months of campaigns to generate the same impact. This difference highlights why Jungkook's wealth potential is extraordinary. He doesn't just lend his face to a brand, he transforms its market value. The intensity of ARMY's consumer loyalty creates an economic force that American celebrities cannot easily replicate. This positions Jungkook as one of the most valuable brand ambassadors worldwide. Social media has become one of the strongest wealth drivers in entertainment. American stars like Selena Gomez, Kylie Jenner, and Ariana Grande often top the list of most followed accounts on Instagram. But Jungkook's social media dominance, even without consistently managing his own account, is staggering. Every appearance, video, or live stream involving Jungkook generates millions of interactions. His presence on platforms like Weverse, TikTok, or even short clips from fan accounts routinely go viral. Unlike American stars who rely heavily on curated campaigns, Jungkook's natural presence fuels global engagement, which in turn increases his economic value. Social media dominance directly translates to wealth in the modern economy, higher endorsement deals, stronger fan-driven spending, and more sustainable global presence. Touring remains the largest revenue source for many American artists. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, for example, is projected to surpass $2 billion in revenue. Similarly, The Weeknd and Beyoncé make hundreds of millions from global tours. For Jungkook, the touring potential remains largely untapped. While BTS has conducted record-breaking tours, Jungkook has yet to launch a full-scale solo world tour. When he does, the financial impact will be immense. Analysts suggest that Jungkook could rival top American acts in gross revenue due to his global fanbase and the sheer demand for his live performances. This means that Jungkook's current net worth, already impressive, does not even include the full potential of touring revenue. Once solo tours become part of his career, his wealth could escalate dramatically, closing the gap with top American artists. One of the reasons American artists like Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, and Rihanna built massive wealth is through business ownership and investments. Jungkook already has a foundation in this area via his HYBE stock ownership. As HYBE expands into gaming, entertainment, and global markets, the value of his holdings will continue to grow. If Jungkook chooses to launch his own brand, whether in fashion, skincare, or digital platforms, his wealth could multiply. Given his influence, any personal brand he creates would likely see instant global success, much like Rihanna's Fenty Beauty or Kylie Jenner's cosmetics line. The important point is that Jungkook has the infrastructure, the global fan base, and the brand power to make such ventures succeed at a scale similar to, or even greater than, his American counterparts. The significance of Jungkook's net worth is not just the amount itself, but what it represents. For decades, American stars dominated not only the music charts, but also the financial rankings. Jungkook's emergence as a financial powerhouse shows that the balance of cultural and economic influence is shifting. He embodies a new kind of global artist, one who commands loyalty across multiple continents, builds wealth through diversified modern channels, and surpasses expectations traditionally reserved for Western icons. In other words, Jungkook's wealth is not only about him, it signals a broader change. The rise of Asian artists as equal players in the global entertainment economy. His financial achievements force the industry to reconsider its assumptions about who holds cultural and financial power in the 21st century.